Here's the deal. I'm desperately trying to start this podcast because otherwise it's not going to happen.
No, it's not.
The people are dropping like flies. People pop in. Oh, anyway, I can't do the podcast tonight. See you later. So anyway, I've started the recording. That means that I should say something along the lines of, it is the 7th of October, 2021. I'm Commander Jantrax, and this is the Loose Screws podcast. I don't know, but maybe other people are going to drift in, but we're going to try to make a podcast happen. And I've got Dubs and Data with me. Both say hi at the same time. 3, 2, 1, go.
Hi.
I did pretty good. Not on my end.
People
let's see what Craig heard first.
People can't tell us apart apparently in voice anyways. So
I have had lots of people get me mistaken for you. That definitely has happened.
Yeah, I've heard that a bunch, and I don't understand it at all because I don't think you sound anything alike. But then somebody pointed out to me that really it's the name that they're mixing up, not the voice. Like they know who they're talking to, they just forget which name to call you or something because they both start with D, and that's too many letters, I guess. For
I understand.
For this.
Yeah.
We'll have to start addressing Data by his full title. That way they can stop that nonsense.
His full title is what? Tell me about that.
Yeah.
Lieutenant Commander.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, of course. Yeah. I don't know why I didn't think of that. Oh, that's right. Because I always forget. Okay. Anyways. Oops. I am nosing too quickly into this planet. Spinning away. Okay. I almost screwed up that entry. Anyway, shouldn't do that while I'm trying to start the show. Yeah, so we were, no podcast got recorded last week. I was away, and it looked like a podcast was going to get recorded and sent to me to upload and stuff, but then it didn't happen. So we've got 2 weeks of kind of, well, actually last week all the dev news happened. This week was a little bit less so, but there's plenty to talk about. There's also been squad stuff, although all of our faction leader people have just left the chat right before I pushed record. So who knows what will happen there.
We don't need them. We don't need anybody.
We don't need them. Yeah, Dubs came in here. He's been reading our reading Galnet for us. Has no idea what's going on. So we'll just, you know what? We'll do it live. It's going to be great. So fuck it. We'll do it live. So, what all's been going on, guys? I wasn't around last week, which I guess I have a story about technically. But what were you, Dubs? You've been busy as all hell and haven't been here either, have you?
The earliest I got home from work last week was 9 p.m. The earliest I've gotten home from work this week is 8, except for today, which was, since I'm a government employee and we get 4 days off for the holiday. That is, honestly, I don't even know what holiday is happening right now, but we're getting 4 days off for it. So that's why I'm home early today and I'm off for the next 4 days. Other than that, yeah, too much work, no game time. I haven't paid attention to literally anything, so I'm going to rely pretty heavily on you guys for this one, which is fantastic since there's only 3 of us.
Yeah, this is gonna be a good one, guys. Woo! Data, how have you been? Have you been here? I wouldn't know if you were.
I've been here 24/7. I'm always here. Haven't missed anything.
Omnipresent, just everywhere, always.
The days fly past in a blur, and I get older. We're all just gonna be dust eventually.
Dust in the wind.
That took a turn.
No, I think the last big thing I went for in game, whichever days it were, was getting those grade 2 Guardian shard cannons.
Oh yeah, shard cannons
that Dubs discovered were badass.
The long range. What are they? Are they long range or focused or something?
Long range and focused.
Well, So they're longer range. They have The distance isn't really all that different. Yeah, so the distance is the same.
The one that was a reward from some weeks or months ago has super long range. I think this one that you can buy from the tech broker is just focused.
And
it has a high fire rate and a tighter spread.
It's wildly high. Yeah, the speed of the projectiles is wildly high, like 6 kilometers per second. Something stupid that you almost don't even need the Xeno scanner to be able to hit the heart with it. It's got a stupid tight shot group, and the penetration is super high, which means it can actually do decent damage. So it actually winds up being a superior weapon against the at least the Cyclops variant, in my opinion. It does produce quite a bit of heat compared to normal shard cannons. I believe it's heavier, takes more energy, the standard heavier, drawbacks. Yeah. But I mean, it's definitely better. I don't remember if that was talked about in the last podcast. It's been 2 weeks, and I have the memory of a goldfish, so...
People say that you and I sound alike. Have you ever heard that?
Yeah. Sometimes.
Yeah, and you get those from the Salvation's Megaship in Mabuni. Gotta get those.
If you have the permit for the system, which if you have not participated in any of the Salvation stuff, sadly, you're probably not going to have it. So
although they said there will be an opportunity to get it through gameplay later on. So if you missed out, you won't be missing out forever.
Nice.
Okay. So yeah, I'm not sure if that was. I don't think that was talked about. I picked it up from the Megaship. I bought several of them. I haven't had a chance to test them out on any Thargoids. I really only had enough game time to actually buy the things before I went away on a trip, which is why I was gone last week.
Yeah, they're worth the effort to get them.
They look fun.
And I tried out a low intensity ground conflict zone, first time since update 7. And it was fun. It was over a planet MV640, some war between a couple of the lower factions that I don't think we cared about who won. I dropped in my own ship for some of the ship combat. I didn't face too much trouble from the anti-air cannons, maybe because it was a low intensity, or maybe I was staying high enough in altitude. They weren't targeting me. But it just so happened it was like a higher G planet, like 1.4 or 1.6 G, so like just high enough that if you got stuck to the ground, your thrusters wouldn't just lift you off immediately. So it was pretty sluggish aerial combat. That wasn't so much fun. And I got out on the ground, and there was a few more rocket troops. Well, I guess more than before. There were 0 before the update. But they weren't going wild or anything with the rockets. You'd see some rockets flying around every once in a while, but it seemed pretty much the same on the ground.
Do they shoot at SRVs only, or
I think that's the purpose of them. There weren't any driving around, so I think they were just launching them at each other.
Just using their rockets anyway.
Yeah, though maybe not as frequently as they would against an SRV.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Been my in-game time. Is it story time? Is it your story time?
Okay, yeah. So like I said, I haven't had really. I'm playing the game now, but I really only got to play again. I just kind of got back to things right now. We disappeared last Wednesday, and we're gone through the weekend. So what happened was we wanted this car that. So the reason for this is what we wanted was an electric car. We wanted.
Are you replacing a car? Or just
we're replacing my wife's vehicle. Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't drive very much, so my car is staying the same because I work from home. But my wife drives, but not far. And electric would be good, but hers is also the one that we would take on trips if we are going on a long distance. So we. And all electric wasn't quite going to work, but we're sort of at this point where this vehicle would suit us. So the car in question is a RAV4 Prime, a Toyota. The Prime is a plug-in hybrid. So, meaning it behaves like a hybrid, but if its battery is charged up real high, it can actually run all electric for as much as 40 miles.
Nice.
And that's going to be, we're going to, like, a lot of the time never use any gas in this thing. So this car is very difficult to find if you do not live in a coastal state, because something about the laws and stuff like that, the allocation of how many of these vehicles they can make, places like us here in Ohio do not essentially get, like the dealerships out here got like one car for the whole year or something. So they're very hard to find. Whereas
some
coastal
states have like tighter fleet fuel efficiency standards or something like that, or they get more tax benefits.
There must be some bonus to like emissions stuff. So like the states that are, I guess, creating favorable scenarios for very good emissions cars are receiving pretty much all the allocations. So anyway, we keep looking around. We eventually find there's big markups on these as well because they're hard to get. So a lot of the dealers were leveraging that. So anyway, so we find the thing from a dealer in Vermont. And my wife lived in Vermont for quite a long time and loves Vermont and was very excited that that's the one who would happen to be the dealer that would sell it to us for MSRP and not a big markup and stuff like that. So, so we put the deposit on it. We got the deal to go through, and we took a trip, and we went to pick it up, and we made it a trip by seeing some of our friends that still live out there, and we actually went into we went to see them, and then brought them with us to see a show in New York City, and then kind of came home from there. So we made a whole like long weekend out of it. But the car is, we got the thing we actually wanted. It's like a high-tech friggin' vehicle, and we saved our money so that we could buy this car. And so we bought the car essentially cash. I had a nice $40,000 cashier's check with me, and we got the $10,000 trade-in we were expecting on my wife's CRV, which I didn't really have to argue with them about, but I was prepared to, and that's it. So this thing's got all the tech. It's got a fucking heated seats in the front and the back. It's got air-conditioned seats in the front, which is a feature that I don't recommend you try unless you want to spend the money on a vehicle that has it, because you won't go back. It's got all kinds of crazy. The thing fucking drives itself practically. It has all this lane departure detection stuff and guidance and radar, and it'll basically, you put the cruise control on, tell it how fast to go and how far to keep behind the cars ahead of it, and it'll stay in the lane and maintain a speed and slow down when the traffic slows down, and kind of does the whole thing. It insists that you touch the wheel once in a while, so it'll start to buzz at you if you haven't touched the wheel in a few seconds. So it insists that you're there, but it really is doing all the work. It has a heads-up display like a fighter jet that displays relevant information on the windshield in front of the driver. It has cameras all around it. So it has like a backup camera that also interfaces with the mirror. So the mirror itself is actually a screen that shows the view from the back of the car as if it was a mirror. Okay. And then when you actually put it into reverse or get close enough to something that it wants to show you how close you are, it will turn on these front and back cameras, and then it has this bird's eye view thing where it's using computers to recreate like a top-down view of your vehicle and everything that's around it to within about 6 feet.
Dropping in third person view.
So you literally have like a third person from above view of the vehicle as you like park it in the garage or something, and which it's building from its cameras that are all around the periphery of it. So it's pretty great.
That thing's definitely going to turn on you one day.
Be nice to it. Say thank you when you get out.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I think every time, like, it's driving itself on the highway and then it's like, bzz, 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 like, put your hands on the steering wheel. I'm like, why?
If it
you're doing a great job.
If it calculates
fine,
a lower casualty rate by driving you off the road to save that school bus full of kids, I mean,
that's
sorry.
Right. Yeah, well, what am I going to do about that, right? What am I going to do?
Logical.
So anyway, that's what we did. So it's great and
cool.
Plugs in the garage. And of course, we don't put a lot of distance on it during the week unless we're going on a long trip. So we're just sort of plugging it in and there we go. It's like, it's going to send me, in fact, I'm going to look at my phone. Yeah, it sent me an alert a few minutes ago that it was fully charged on my phone. So yeah, pretty good.
Plugging into your 110 volt receptacle.
Yeah, I was actually looking into getting a level 2 charger, which we have to install a 240 in the garage for, but it actually has never, even when we like deplete the battery power on it, it seems to be charged by like midnight or 2 a.m. So until we start really needing it for some reason, because it's capable. That's one of the upgrades that we got. Is it's capable of a very high current fast charge. If we're on a trip and we wanted to like stop at a place and fast charge it for 30 minutes, you could put all its miles back on it pretty damn quickly that way. But I don't think we really need that for the house right now. But we'll see. Now that I've spent all my money, we'll let the bank account recover for a few months before we start thinking if we need to. Because I don't have a panel. I don't have a breaker panel in the garage. So, because don't tell anybody, because I'm not a licensed electrician, but I would totally put 240 in my own garage if I had a panel there, but I don't. So I'd have to run cable, and I don't want to burn my house down. So
I'm calling your insurance company as we speak. Don't worry.
I'm saying I won't do it.
Dubs is the last person that would give you shame about doing something yourself.
Oh, no kidding. That guy's like,
yeah,
he'll cut cars in half and weld them back together himself.
I will not pay another man to do something I can do. You can't make me.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm back and I'm flying around this. I went to land at this surface station because I have to clear my bounties, and the gravity is like 1G, and I didn't want to try to land because I'm still getting used to my new controllers, my dual sticks. And I'm still not as great at landing as I used to be. So, and I'm not turning the flight assist back on. No, not giving up. So
that's for punks.
Yeah. So what should we get into now? We would normally go to a squad update right now. Does anybody know what's going on with the squad? Do you want to talk about it?
I mean, you can just insert that later, right? Hate said he might be back.
That's not how it works. I don't edit this show. I really just that's why I try to like play everything at the time.
This is raw. It's fucking
I run
raw.
it through like presets for all of our microphones that make us sound nice and export.
You're wasting your time with my voice. I'm already beautiful, damn it.
All right, well check this out. I'm going to play this sound. I thought I was. Whoa, nothing's happening when I click the button. What happened? I've been gone. Uh-oh. I'm gonna crash into the planet.
Briefing.
Why isn't it playing?
Data could probably imitate it pretty well. He is a robot after all.
Oh my god. Hold on. Shields up. I have to up thrust here. Okay. Hold on.
Being assaulted by an elite trait phantom, and I'm in my DBX. This isn't cool.
Why isn't the sound working? As I crash into the planet's surface. Oh, there. It plays on that window.
Incoming priority message. Squadron briefing.
All right. Anyway, my Mamba is now sitting on its roof on the planet's surface because I looked away for a second. That's cool.
The latest news was our expansion went off today.
Yeah, it did not go where we wanted.
Not a terrible landing spot, but yeah, not our first choice. 7 Andromedae is our new system we inhabit.
Yeah, so we have a war pending now with the lowest, or the faction that was the lowest at the time, although I guess us dropping in drops some other factions, because there's some factions in there that are like 1% now. which I don't get, and would definitely be explained to us if our happy, fun BGS people were in here.
I know, they're slacking.
I don't see in the orders anything else particularly that I understand that's going on. We needed to cool down some of our big systems. That's all I know. Like, comma and
stop doing stuff for us and don't tell me. And wait.
Well, Untomi's where we just expanded out of right now.
Yeah, sorry.
There's something in there about Mycoro and some other things.
Mycoro and comma.
Go to the standing orders channel.
Down in there.
We're too dumb to read it ourselves.
Yeah, Nurgle, you do a great job at laying the orders out. It's just my illiteracy and
we have smooth
understand. Like a raw chicken breast.
Okay. Well, anyway, there's going to be a war starting up. Actually, there's another war as well, I think, that's already going. I don't know if it's important or opposed at all. So, okay. Anyway, check the Dern Squadrons channel, I guess, if you feel like it. Galnet. What happened in Galnet, guys? I heard there was an assassination attempt or something like that.
I mean, an arrest attempt. Is that the one you're talking about?
More like a kidnapping.
Whoa.
What? If you're referring to the Federation fucking around some more to find out some more, that may or may not be it. Yeah. Oh shit! Look who it is. Okay, but anyways,
keep going.
Let me scroll back. Hold on. I just got out of a fight with an elite bounty hunter, and I am not in a fighting ship. All right. Yuri Grom goes to talk to Hudson. Hudson fights back. Well, not back, but it's kind of a jackass.
Hudson tries to arrest Grom at a diplomatic conference.
Yeah. Started a war. Ended exactly how I could have told you that it would have ended. Then there's the thing, salvation, friend or foe. He's obviously a friend. Who doesn't want to kill the Thorgoids? Fuck those guys. Next one, some bullshit about Joker's deck. I don't. Did y'all see anything about useful in that?
This was supposed to be like the most interesting thing, Dubs.
I've been gone for 2 weeks and I have smooth brain. So the Sal Krieger thing ended, the CG where they were collecting all the world data, right? That ended.
I'm sure that went well. That was last week, so that definitely wasn't talked about on this podcast yet.
That was not. Oh, look who it is. Now we can talk about him. If he's going to talk to us.
If he's going to talk.
Yes?
I'm here.
It's Shig.
About damn time.
I know. Life is busy. Being unemployed is rough.
Yeah, that must suck.
Yeah. It takes up all my time. So it's happening.
Well, Dubs was just in the middle of failing to read Galnet.
Failing. I don't fail at anything. I just don't do it as well as I could.
Yeah.
An interesting perspective.
Yeah. Failing isn't an option.
Yeah, it's better than bad. It's good.
What do you think about the gambling thing? What is it? The black deck? What is it?
The Joker's
deck.
The Joker's deck?
See, I can't see where this is supposed to be going in game. I mean, it talks about a bunch of rich guys getting together and gambling. I mean, it's shit that happens. They're rich. They want to throw their money at each other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyways, let's move on. More stuff about Yuri Grom, targeted by the federal strike. We already know about that. Horval loses control of the Mastopolis mining. I don't care. Unless one of y'all.
That's thing, right? That's like what she does.
Yeah. Yeah, people think that power might be changed or something like that. Be a way for them to get somebody else in there.
That'd be kind of cool.
My favorite thing about Zemina Torval, I saw a meme on the Reddit where her you look at her portrait, her power play portrait, and it definitely looks like her head could pop off of her body and it would be crawling around on 8 robot spider legs.
It'd be like that one little head monster thing from Dead Space that like reattaches itself to your body when it knocks your head off. You know that one, right? Yeah.
Or the Thing, yeah.
That's exactly what she is. It's canon now, boys.
All right. And I'll now take the moment of pause to bring in Teflon, other Chig. For a second, Teflon was going to be playing Chig on the show, but then Chig showed up right before Teflon did, and so now the whole plans are screwed up. Anyway, hey, everybody.
Hey, I'm kind of horrified.
You're horrified about playing Chig?
Well, just about what I just walked in on.
I was thinking the same thing when you guys started talking about the head walking around on robot legs and reattaching itself. I was like, I joined the channel for this. What the hell is going on?
Go to the Galactic Powers.
You know you like it.
Go to the Galactic Powers and look at. Oh, you can't see it on her portrait on there.
Galactic Powers. Let me look right now. This is good content.
Find the portrait that's more zoomed out than what it is in game. Definitely,
she is
definitely a head with robot spider legs on it.
She's in dead last. They're probably just going to go ahead and offer. Oh yeah, those are definitely spider legs. There's no doubt in my mind. Data's right.
This is compelling podcasting. Us looking shit up and looking at pictures.
Don't believe us. Look for yourselves.
You're telling the listeners, go check this out. It looks like spider legs.
Oh, there it is.
Really?
They think they can just waltz in here, tell us how to cast pod.
Or her neck is a spider's anus crapping out that head. That could be a possibility too.
So you're saying the body is the spider?
I don't know.
You complained about it being horrific, but you made it so much worse.
If the Sam Raimi Spider-Man with organic webbing was anatomically correct, would the webbing come out of his butt or out of his belly button? Discuss.
I don't know if I want to discuss this right now.
Oh God, why?
Why'd I come in here?
Yeah, Chig doesn't like this.
This chick doesn't like this either.
We were just wrapping up Galnet.
So there's only 2 articles left. I'll cover them super fast. Yuri Grom beat Hudson's ass. All right, next one. There's now a new initiative to build a bridge to Colonia with up to 30 dockable megaships. So you can go deliver, where is it?
Alcor.
Ceramic composites, computer components, thermal cooling units to either the McDonald's settlement in Alcor, which I'm assuming is near the bubble, or Jacques Station in Colonia. Boom.
There you go.
Go do that right now.
Yeah.
So and the reward for that, or the effect of that is depending on what tier is cleared, fleet carriers and their modules will apparently be discounted for 1 week.
Oh, a fleet carrier itself. So if I delete mine and then rebuy it,
well, that's what I'm thinking. Like, do we all just exchange our fleet carriers for the discounted versions? I'm going to let somebody else test that.
Would I have to get a new carrier identifier because I really like N gigahertz?
Yeah, I don't know how you could not have that one anymore because it just sounds like the sound you make
when you're looking at boats.
Wow! When you remove a spider head from Zermina,
yeah,
there you go.
That's the noise.
What is wrong with you, Chig?
All kinds of shit. I've got an app that keeps track.
We found his fetish, boys.
We did.
Well, I decommissioned my carrier a while ago, so if I get back to the bubble, I can buy a new discounted carrier.
Only if you do it within the week after the conclusion of the CG.
Well, right now I was at Explorers Anchorage today. It doesn't take that long to get back from there. I'm Elite 5
to get
now,
to Colonia,
or Elite V. Elite V. Elite, I don't know, these stupid hash marks and bullshit. But I am now Elite V Explorer.
But I think from my reading, it looks like if it makes it all the way to Tier 5, and I guess they're 2 separate CGs. So I guess the Colonia one or the bubble one might have different tiers, I guess. But if it makes it all the way to tier 5, I'm reading a 30% discount. Does that sound right to you guys? That's
something like that.
Wow.
30% of 5 billion plus modules, like 7 billion. Like
that's like more than 3.
Sounds like
money in your
getting a
pocket.
carrier.
Yeah. So
Now,
It sounds like somebody besides me needs to do that math.
will that mean cheaper upkeep?
I don't think it would affect the upkeep, right? But
I don't
think
the
that's
modules
related.
themselves.
Yeah, that's not related to the value or what you paid for it, so you're still going to be paying the fat change.
Okay, but if you have 7 billion worth of carrier, you save 2.1 billion on the purchase. That's like 2.5 years of upkeep that you'd
Nice.
save.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, upkeep is
Or a cutter.
if you have the money to buy a fleet carrier, upkeep doesn't matter. We can just, I don't know. Anyone who complains about the upkeep cost is just too lazy to go kill a couple Thargoids.
Quit being a peasant.
Yeah, have you tried just having money? If you're homeless, just go buy a home.
That's awful.
That was a real social media post by someone who doesn't. It's like, I don't get it. Why don't homeless people just buy homes?
Oh, jeez.
People post the stupidest shit. Like somebody was talking about, food shortages and stuff, and all of a sudden it's like soybeans are might not get planted on time this year. People are like, who cares about when soybeans get planted? I buy my food at the grocery store. Like, what the fuck? Where do you think it comes from? God.
How could you kill animals? Just buy your meat at the grocery store like the rest of us.
Yeah, you heathen.
Oh my God, you can't. This can't be real.
There's a lot of stupid, my friend. A whole lot of stupid. A lot in this show right now too. But
yeah,
I've got enough for everybody.
Hey.
Don't worry. We can all go check out the Flat Earther subreddit after this and have a good laugh.
Good.
Wait,
excellent.
do you not think that the Earth is flat?
So anyways,
No, I think it is.
So how about the dev news?
I think it's
moving on then. Yeah,
Save
I'm
us.
just asking questions. Okay, listen up. Okay, so there's been a lot of dev news. There was, because the show didn't happen last week, we go all the way back now to yeah, we got 2 weeks. So Tuesday last week on Supercruise News, they detailed update 8. There was a coming soon video that was posted with teasers of some of the features coming in update 8, and dev update 4 comes along as well. Link in the show notes. So there's another issue tracker update, blah, blah, blah. So, okay, I'm assuming you guys paid any attention to this at all. The quick highlights: 4-player multi-crew. Okay. Mm-hmm. Some ships, usually the big ones, and I guess the Crusader for some reason. More Colonia engineers, or some change to Colonia engineers or something. Why does it say Colonia engineers in my notes?
For on foot.
They're adding on foot stupid engineers for Colonia.
Yeah. like I'm going to fly the whole way to Colonia to do something that I didn't want to do to begin with because the grind is stupid.
Okay. Player emotes. Player emotes are coming. That's right. Player emotes.
We can finally 07 in game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we can dab.
Yeah. So wave, applaud, point, agree, disagree, stop, go, and of course salute. And they're going to be context sensitive, so they're going to attach to, like you'll see in chat, if it was directed at a particular person. And I think that it interfaces as well with the combat situation. They were talking about that a bit on the stream, where if you're to point, you're pointing at something, and that gives some information to your teammates.
Sounds like a ping system you see in some shooters like that.
Like it.
I can't dab, and I can't Dougie, and I can't point at my nuts.
Well, now, don't you think some of this stuff could come in ARX packs? Right? They'll give us these basic ones, and then they'll sell us the rest, right? The ones that don't impact the gameplay, but they make you look so cool.
That makes it sound so much more appealing.
Yeah.
to spend arcs on.
Very appealed.
Look, if y'all want to sell something to me for arcs, give me my multicolored 07 back. I will pay you that. I'll give you arcs. I will give you real money. I just want it.
Yes.
Okay. Megaship interiors. Megaship interiors are coming.
Oh, another place that has mag boots. Great.
Right. So the idea being that you can put things to sell your genetic data when you're out in the black where you're not near stations. So megaships can be there, and they're getting interiors. Horizon cosmetics. So the player like flight suit cosmetics from Horizons had to be reconfigured to match the player models in Odyssey. That's why you couldn't use them before. Now they're back in. They've been reconfigured. So the stuff you bought from Horizons can now be applied to your suit in Odyssey. Hooray. Mission additions and improvements. So that's just one of those generic friggin' things. Right? And then the dev update continues for after update 8. The following are planned. A twin-seat Combat SRV. New SRV confirmed.
Yes.
Further missions and improvements, which was literally just mentioned. So that continues. So they're going to keep adding new ways for missions to blah, 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 and hopefully get better. And fleet carrier interiors.
Really?
And yes. And they said, don't know when, but sometime after update 8, 9, 10, I don't know. And
it all depends on how much Megaship interiors break the game.
Yeah.
if they don't break it too bad.
We assume it would be, it's probably the same. That's the thing. Like they put Megaship interiors in, like why not just use that for fleet carriers, right? And it makes me think like, because they've said for so long, everybody asks, when are we going to have fleet carrier interiors? I'm sorry. And their response always, we don't have any news, like, like we're not, we've already said that's not on the roadmap, blah, blah. And they sort of, they're not like mean about it, but there's this air of like, you keep asking us, our answer is always the same. We'll tell you if we're going to change something about that. And then they do, then they say, fleet carrier interiors, the thing that we said was not on our roadmap, not on the plan, even in the future. Now it's on the plan. Now it's happening. And then the follow-up question is like, okay, what about VR? Somebody in chat asks, and they say, we have nothing to say about that. We'll announce it if we do. Like, what? Well, this is why we don't, I'm not saying like you can't change your mind, but don't act like we're doing something wrong for asking, because you clearly change your minds all the time. Something's not on the roadmap. I'm going to be thrilled if VR gets back onto the roadmap. I'm not holding my breath, but like,
we've seen your roadmap and we're not impressed before.
I get lost every time.
So, that's the thing. What's sticking out to you guys? What's exciting? Fleet carrier interiors? Is this going to be worth a damn?
SRV.
I'll be excited for fleet carrier interiors only if the inside of the boat has vaguely hentai posters hanging on the walls.
I'll never leave. But no, let's talk about the SRV real quick. The two-passenger SRV, because they haven't given any other information on it. I'm assuming or hoping it's tank-like. If they're letting a second person be in it, they get to actually use the turret while you're driving, which would
have to be a gunner position.
Yeah, which would make it fun, super fun. But if you just can bring somebody for a ride, okay. I don't know.
It sounds like super fun. If I can drive and you can shoot.
Yeah, that would be a great activity one night to not be able to network with our friends and try to do. God,
but there's got to be some sort of weapon for the driver too. Like you can't just drive and not shoot, because I can do both of those myself now.
It's got to be beefed up, slower, more HP, stronger turret. Because they are way too weak now to hand weapons, just regular hand weapons.
Yeah,
be killed in a few seconds.
We got to be able to. I want them to have rockets.
No, I'm assuming that this thing's gonna take like a different size slot and stuff than the SRV now. I don't know. It'll be interesting.
Hear me out. It just has a hard point, and you can put whatever you want on it, including pack count.
Okay, so
and it's engineerable.
SRV.
I like it.
Pack hounds.
All right, where's my SRV interiors?
You hit fire, and the pack hound's releasing, shoots the SRV backwards.
Dubs just wants to take his SRV to a low gravity world and pack hound himself in space.
Yes.
Duh.
Awesome.
Now, can we sit on top of this new SRV and ride it into space? That's
Wait a second.
So many questions.
The new AX shard cannons, SRV, fight a Thargoid.
There we go.
Let's do it.
My thing
That's
with
right.
it, though, is, I mean, like right now, how often... I just multi-crew have never really gotten that much use anyway, because we always run into networking issues and stuff like that. It seems like it could be fun, but I don't know. It seems like multi-crew in Horizons could be fun, but it just is what it is.
So the trick with multi-crew and Horizons is every time I've tried it, at least, it works for a while, and then there's like a weird freak out. The menus go strange, and you go, "Oh, it's going to kick me soon." And sure enough, you get booted, and you have to rejoin the session, and it gets really complicated with the random was I part of the mission or was I not? Because I got booted 3 times during the mission, sort of thing. And it was seemingly happening at regular intervals every time I've tried it. Right, like it seems consistent. Does that still go on in Odyssey? Tell the truth.
I haven't multi-crewed once.
What's the difference now between teams and multi-crew? If you're in a team, you can get into the ship, can't you?
Well, I mean, what we're calling
physical.
multi-crew is, it's the telepresence multi-crew. And are you allowed to get out of the ship during telepresence multi-crew? I don't think so.
No. What do you talk? What?
That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works.
Is it going to restrict the guy who's really there? The pilot of the ship getting out of his ship. I mean, why wouldn't he be able to get out of his ship? Let the actually, the captain's
now
chair.
what Dubs is saying is very stupid, but he's near a really good point.
Confused, but he got spirit.
Yeah, he's actually like leading us in sort of an interesting direction here. So nobody but the pilot, nobody but the owner of the ship can ever fly their ship. I don't think that's changing, right? So then we have this thing. So that's possibly going to go with the SRV, but we have a thing now where can't you drive somebody else's SRV in Odyssey?
I haven't tried.
I thought that was supposed to be a feature.
I don't know. I haven't attempted it. I just assumed it wouldn't work.
My question, okay, let's go one step, because you're talking about being able to, fly somebody else's ship. Well, you can't, but it would be cool if you did. But the whole multi-crew, they can't give us full ship interiors, but they could give us the cockpits that we could walk around. Why don't they do that? Then we could be playing musical chairs and stuff, or do something. I don't know. The whole multi-crew where we all get to just sit in a chair in a cockpit at the same time is just a big yawn for me. I just don't care.
Should be able to vent people out the airlock.
Yeah, I don't know. For sure.
Yeah, I'm not too excited about multi-crew, I guess. That's what it boils down to with your question.
Okay.
I feel like they should just remove the telepresence multi-crew feature from the game, and it's just physical multi-crew.
I just want Data to be on some type of stealth mission in a base, and me and Dubs to be able to drive through in a 2-person armored SRV and cause mayhem and destruction and completely ruin it. That's all.
That would be a lot of fun.
Data is on a covert mission. Let me go set the alarms off.
Exactly.
Yes.
Overt. It's an overt mission now.
No.
Pretty sure that's every mission Teflon's ever been is an overt mission. So
I'll have you know that's probably true.
Yeah, probably true. I will say about the fleet carrier interiors being added is kind of neat, because you can finally have a place that you can hang out, but we really could just go to Thurston Ring or whatever and do that right now anyway. So I don't see the big deal. I don't fleet carrier interiors.
Given the option, where would you rather hang out? Would you rather hang out on Thurston Ring or on in the lounge of a place called Big Ol' Anime Titty.
No, but we're missing the big awesome part of this, like for real though, is if we actually have fleet carrier interiors and we can go onto the bridge. If it's not just the airport terminal, part that we can be, if we can actually go on the bridge, if we can actually go on the bridge. But then again, let's say it's the airport terminal part. But if we can be standing there when it jumps and watch that process, would be cool. If that would
fully
that would excite
Black
me.
Remains. Yeah, like if this should be, I mean, this is a huge mistake if this isn't the moment where you can finally look out the window while it happens.
Exactly.
However, I am not going to be even remotely surprised if they make that mistake.
Yeah, what will happen? Yeah. Will it teleport you back to your ship when the jump?
Well, in the bet that metal sheet, the metal window protectors are probably going to fall down.
And you'll be frozen in place.
Doors.
You'll be frozen in place.
They'll drop blast window covers. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case either. But baby steps. Just because that's the case now doesn't mean they won't add it later.
Yeah, like with regard to them doing different things, I was surprised about the CG being relatively, I don't know, it seems like a unique outcome to me with this building new megaships. I mean, the mechanism is the same as always, delivering things, but building megaships out to Colonia, I never would have guessed they would do that. But
they're
never know.
They're adding megaship interiors.
Yeah.
They need more megaships. Yay!
Cool. Anything else on Dev Update 4 or upcoming features?
No.
What else was there? There was the multi-crew thing, the big ship interiors, megaship interiors, the 2-person SRV, and what else was there?
We already made fun of the emotes, 4-player multi-crew. So which ships are getting? Let's see, 4-player multi-crew. Hold on.
Probably the ones that already have 3 seats in them.
Anaconda, Beluga Liner, Federal Corvette, Imperial Cutter Type 9, Type 10, and the Crusader. So all the large ships and the Crusader.
One of these things is not like the other.
Well, all the actual large ships, not the large pad ships.
Large ships.
All the actual large ships and the Crusader, which is a medium ship on a medium pad and doesn't belong
you mean the ships that would realistically have a crew of at least 50?
They really want the Crusader to feel like a dropship, I think.
Apparently. I mean, that's the one that can carry a fighter, but it carries a fighter in a pretty small frame. I don't know. Anyway,
apparently 4 people.
Those are the ones getting 4 seats, a 4th seat, I should say. So, okay, well, whatever. That was very necessary because having teams of 4 and not being able to carry everybody in your ship if you want to. I know that the comment is like, yeah, but why do I want to carry people in my ship anyway? But that so that you can all arrive at a base at the same time and do a covert op together, stuff like that.
So with
Overt
this
ops too.
4th seat in the Anaconda, are they going to place it in the regular bridge, or are they going to make use of that cool little chair on the bottom deck window?
No, it'll be on the regular bridge.
Oh, come on. I'd rather them just strap me to the outside.
Put a suicide seat
Mom, I want to go to McDonald's.
We have food at home.
Jesus.
Let me dream. Quit crushing me.
Yeah. All right. What else we got?
Right. Okay, so that was last Tuesday. Last Thursday, there was a stream featuring some of the devs. It was the 2 devs from the UI team, and they talked about UI design. I watched this stream, and did anybody else watch this?
I made it 20 to 30 minutes in. That's as much as I could bear.
Yeah, I was doing some other things at the time. Yeah. I agree with you. It was a little dull. I didn't quite understand why I was being shown concepts. Everything they were showing was like concept. So were they showing me old things from before it was put in the game? Because it was clearly concept in that there was a bunch of stuff on it that was wrong. Like they had like the wrong text in all the places, but the UI looked basically the same as what eventually came in Odyssey, or what we landed on anyway.
Like what was
so anyway,
what was the point? Were they talking about like struggles with it or their iterations on the design? I never understood the point of it.
It seemed like there was a bit of that. They talked about some of the parts that I found interesting were regarding why you might make certain choices, like why certain things should be easy for the user and other things have friction. If they're trying to slow you down and make you think about it. Like, so those sometimes are deliberate choices. And then, there's sort of the unification of the style, the design language of the whole thing that was moving. And this goes back to like, they knew where they were going back when Fleet Carriers released. And that's why the Fleet Carrier UI is the design language of what everything turned into in Odyssey. What they didn't do is, they didn't like deny that there were bugs that needed fixing, but what they didn't do is like admit that some of the stuff that they did was totally crazy and made absolutely no sense. They just stick to their guns completely and say over and over again that, we're players of the game too, and we totally get it. We see all your comments, and they sort of joke about how hurtful a lot of those comments are. And I feel bad about that. Like, I don't think I'm not personally mean to people when I criticize what they're doing, but I think it still deserves criticism, and many people are mean. So that sucks. However, I don't get how both of those things can be true. Like that you can profess to be a player of the game and you know what's going on, you use the menus, you get what they're for, and then make something that's just totally off the wall, makes no sense whatsoever. And like putting in stuff like the way the outfitting menu is makes it like seem like we're going to have stored loadouts, but we don't. Like, so what is that? Explain that to me. Like, are you planning on it?
Making the UI slower when you're trying to outfit your ship when you don't want to go slow, and then making it fast when you can accidentally sell an engineer module for a short amount of time. Sort of backwards.
So, it sounds like nobody else watched it. There's a link in the show notes if you want to watch it. I think there's some stuff that's interesting, but I wasn't super excited. I didn't come away from it going, "Oh wow, that was really cool." I don't know.
They indicate big changes coming to it, or are they just making little tweaks in the future?
I don't know if they did. They hit it into after my attention was wandering, I guess. I don't know. I didn't come away with any news, that's for sure. And I also didn't understand why on the stream I was seeing like a slideshow of stuff that was a concept that looked like what was currently in Odyssey. Was I not noticing something that was different about it that's going to come in an update, or was this just old stuff? And why was I then seeing concepts? Why wasn't I seeing the final things that they could discuss that?
Yeah, I don't know. I took it to mean an old concept, but for as long as I watched it, it just stayed on the station menu screen.
Oh, mainly. They were eventually cycling it through, but it was just a bunch of screenshots.
Yeah.
So I don't know what exactly to make of that.
They were trying something different, I think, trying to get some actual depth in there and stuff.
Yeah,
so
that's what I was about to say. That's a good step. It's getting actual devs on there.
That's
Keep
true.
doing it.
Appreciate seeing devs. Now I feel bad for being sort of negative about it, but it was for effort. Just a little, yeah, it's fine. Okay, and then this Tuesday, this current week, on Tuesday, there was another Supercruise news where they updated their issue report tracker business. The thread is linked. The things that have, some things have changed like they always do as far as the order is concerned, and this let's see, what is it? Automated accounts are used to influence BGS and power play, like this botting issue, which they explained their reason for why it was omitted from the list previously, but based on feedback, apparently everybody wants the list to literally reflect the list. So that's what it's going to be. So now a thing that isn't a bug and doesn't need fixing in the game, but needs some sort of policy change or anti-cheat change, is going to occupy a slot in this list now because everybody complained about it. So you get what you ask for, I guess. Yay. I don't know why that needs to be there. And I'm not saying it doesn't belong in the issue tracker, because that's how we report things that are wrong to Frontier. However, I thought that was a very logical and correct thing to omit from this, because this is telling us what, they're not telling us about that because that's some policy change, and they just, here's a policy from Frontier. They never talk about what they do about cheating, ever. Ever. So anyway, I don't think that's going to get us any information. It's just going to occupy a slot on this list. That's what I think. What do you guys think?
It should be for bugs. It's like, I don't know. When they had in there, when one of the problems was cabs are boring, I didn't think that should be on the bug report. And it sounds like they're going to go back and letting things like that end up in the bug report. I don't know.
At least they took that one off, but I see your point.
Well, they took it off because they allowed the things to be redirected, so they're considering it fixed. And so now you have to make a new bug report if you still think it's wrong, I guess.
So being redirected makes it less boring. Okay, all right, sure.
Well, it would be, if you charted something to the wrong spot and didn't realize it and you couldn't get off until you arrived, that's boring and that sucks. So this is a major improvement, being able to stop or redirect the taxis. However, I guess what I'm trying to say is some things on here aren't bugs, but they're things that need to be changed, and putting them in the list is for the purpose of providing information to us about whether they're actively working on a solution or have a solution or what, like that, and when it's coming. So that's what it's for. So things on here that aren't going to get that treatment, like anything to do with cheating, because we know Frontier never talks about that. I think they should, but they don't. So that means it's in the list because we complained, but they're still not going to tell us any information. That's useless. But things like, I want the Apex taxi to change, if they put that in there and then tell us we are changing this or we're not, then that's at least information, I guess.
Basically, this thing right now is like the box in the office where you can put your anonymous suggestions is what it's basically coming. I don't know, man. Just drop your note there.
Isn't it?
It literally is, yeah.
Specifically with this automated account usage, that could be on the list forever, as people are always going to be doing crap like that.
Yeah.
I say we just go.
If Frontier finds a solution for it, they're not going to tell us.
Well, we could just go make one and say people are dicks, and we can all vote it up. Would that end up higher on the list then? As people are, that's a problem with the world, is people are dicks, right? So
we leverage the power of loose screws to get all those people to
get as many
that.
upvotes to that as Frontier. Please make people quit being dicks.
Can you do it, Frontier?
Commander,
if they can do that, man.
Commander validating is finally being investigated.
Oh, Jesus. Is that on the list?
Yeah, it's new. It's a new issue.
So Commander validating, this is the exploration thing where a planet can be mapped by somebody, first mapped by, and it'll say validating. Apparently, as they described on stream, this is to do with something about the way Xbox system communicates with the Frontier servers. It causes this to happen. And they're investigating the hell out of it, apparently.
So every one of those validating systems I've bumped into was an Xbox commander who discovered that system ahead of me. Is that did I just solve it? Because consoles, am I right?
Don't do that. So apparently in, I guess, the last episode that I was on, at least, I said that phrase. Clearly I was trying to poke fun at the fact that consoles have been
trying to cover your ass now.
This whole thing. Well, no, apparently they're. Well, I don't think they're really mad at me, but I got a bunch of shit for it today in Discord.
That's good. It worked. That means it worked. It's good.
Why
Yeah,
do
the
you
system
hate
works.
consoles, Trax?
It's
Oh my god, here we go.
It's good to show contempt for your audience in general.
It's a valid marketing ploy.
That leads to great podcast success.
So on the first distance cruise, I thought this validating guy was just a beast that discovered like half the galaxy. I had no idea that it was a bug.
I love
Like,
that.
wow, because
this dude has been everywhere.
We were all like sharing with each other all these systems we found discovered by validating. Like, wow.
Wow.
Yeah, what
I should have named my fleet carrier validating.
Yes.
Missed opportunity.
Great idea.
Yes, you should have.
They also mentioned briefly during Tuesday's stream that when they have news about improving CQC, they'll let us know. And they do want to make changes to CQC and improve it. That's the first time
what changes are those going to be?
There's actually CQC Discord kind of spearheaded by Obi-Wan. He's a pretty renowned CQC player.
Yeah, we know who he is. Yep.
No,
yeah.
I'm not talking from those shitty movies. I'm talking about in a character name in Elite Dangerous
movies that are just about droids.
Yeah. Old Ben Kenobi. I'm gonna go hide from Darth Vader, and I'm gonna change my name from Obi-Wan to Old Ben Kenobi. Jesus fucking Christ! All right.
Star Wars is a movie where it's about an old man who takes a young man to a bar
and radicalizes him into destroying government property. Now, what was I talking about? Oh, a few months ago, well, they gathered suggestions and everything, and then kind of presented it to Frontier, not as like an open letter, just a bunch of suggestions and stuff like that. And they took it in and they looked at it, and even got acknowledged by Bruce that they're looking at a lot of it and they like a lot of these ideas. So it gave some hope. I don't know. Back in August was the last time really heard anything until they mentioned CQC in the stream on Tuesday. And that, I'm like, they mentioned CQC. People are all excited. It was like 30 seconds of the entire stream. But the fact that they actually mentioned it, gives CQC
well, they play
CQC
hope. On the stream pretty regularly.
Yes, they do.
All in fairness.
Yeah, but they also play it in Horizons because, it's Odyssey's just crap. But there's a lot of cool change ideas that have been put forth, and if they actually start putting some of these things forward, maybe CQC could see, a revitalization. It's so much fun. It's just there's nobody playing it right now. It's so hard to get games. I get maybe if I make a full court press to try to play where I'm like logged into the game from 8 a.m. till 10 o'clock at night, I can maybe get 5 games a day and 10 games maybe. It's just there's just nobody playing it.
Damn.
Oh, I will say I enjoy it when we have our CQC nights.
Yeah,
it's fun. And if you want to get Utterly Destroyed, log on between 1 o'clock and 3 o'clock Texas time on any weekday, and that's when the elite crew of CQC players are playing team deathmatch during the day. There's 7, 8, 9, 10 players who log on regularly during that about 2-hour window. Blasted Musketeer, Beers. I could actually name them all off the top of my head probably because there's not that many of them. But playing during the day, and you can get games, but yeah, it's the lobby is all these are all people with 15, 20, 200,000 kills under their belt, and it's a meat grinder. So So yeah, there's that. Just wanted to pitch CQC there because it's the greatest thing in the game.
Yeah. Oh no, we've had a lot of fun on the times when when we gather people and everybody gets in. It's tons of fun. I don't play outside of those situations because, like you said, it's hard to get a game, and I'm not committed to it the way you are. So I'm not going to be on it in the day and when I need to be to find other games. But when Loose Screws is playing, it's loads of fun.
Yeah.
It's always a blast.
Really, even more fun if they make the matchmaking, improve the matchmaking sometimes we have issues getting in the same lobby.
Yeah,
but it works out
it's
decently.
always that way. Even during the day,
there's a
it's a
bit
joke.
you can do to kind of create custom lobbies because you can form a team from your in-game friends, but that doesn't always fully solve the thing. And then it's tough. Well, I don't know. It's tough because there's 8 players in a match, and if we have like 9 people, stuff starts to get pretty weird.
Yeah, it is a pain. And like the last time we did it, I think we had like 9 of us, and then there were like 2 randos showed up. Maybe they were on because they just aren't in the Discord, and they were there because they knew we were going to be playing at that time. But it definitely made it weird. We ended up with 1 full game, then there was another game of like 3 people going. Game. Yeah, it was. I don't know. It is what it is. I mean, right now, like if I want to play in the evening, it's a random game here and there where I might get in a game with 1 or 2 other players, and they have either never played a game of CQC, and I'm just like, I just sigh because it's like this just. I don't know what to do in that situation. Do I murder that person as fast as possible to move along with my life and their life, or do I toy with them like a cat, and try to get it to last the full 7 minutes? I just don't know what to do in that situation. So it's just not even fun to try to play CQC in the evening. The only time I have any fun playing it is as I said, if I log on during the day. But it is what it is.
That's what they say.
And it's best when Dubs dies a lot on those CQC nights.
Hey, don't pick on me. What you do is you like to sit back and watch 2 people fight, and then one of them dies, and then you're like, all right, it's my time to finish off the second one.
Well, no, it's much funner. Killing round right before the first person dies.
Yeah, no, it's when 4 people are all shooting each other, and you're all have your shields down, and I can come in and just pick up 4 kills super fast. That's what I really go for.
Called strategy. Look it up.
Strategy.
No strategy. I charge right in there with my smooth brain, and I start firing at whoever's in front of
3
me.
kilometers.
Yeah.
That's like me. I charge right in there and run into an asteroid or a station.
Yes. Always a blast. All right. Anything else in Tuesday's stream we need to know about?
What did I say it was? Oh, they just did the issue report stuff. That's all. The stuff's up there. You can see what they're paying attention to, what's moved up, what's moved down. And then Thursday was today, another lore stream. So today they were talking about the Adamastor saga. They had Crispytaytortot, Wotherspoon, and Beetlejude on. And I didn't watch this live, but I managed to pick it up, kind of play it on YouTube as I was going about the rest of my day here in the evening before we started podcasting. Really good. It's essentially, if you remember that the story so far post from Bruce some while ago, like that's basically what we covered, except we did it in discussion form with replete with extra speculation and fun theories and things like that, and it was pretty cool. There's cool story, and these folks are good at talking about it. They're good at making it interesting and making small connections that are tough. Like, once just to tease it, like at one point, Wotherspoon interrupts a different, some other people talking to say, well, actually, there are, I think he said 3 times in Galnet where salvation is referred to as he. Because they were talking about who is salvation, right? It's like, is it even a human being? What is it? Who is it? This kind of thing, and he points out that little thing. So it's that sort of stuff that these people would know, and they speculate a lot, and it goes on for a little over an hour, and it's fun. And they plan to do some more. They did not complete their entire planned discussion topics, so they'll do another one soon and kind of do a quick recap and pick up where they left off, because they didn't get all the way up to where we are now, apparently. Although they're pretty darn close.
Nice. Anything with Wotherspoon and Beetlejude's silky smooth voices, that's going to be good.
Yep. Okay, so yeah, but that's the deal. Link in the show notes to the YouTube replay. It's fun and good, and worth a watch if you're interested in the lore and the story. That's all I have for this show. What do you guys have?
I don't know. Have you watched the Foundation series on Apple TV yet?
No, I'm really trying to convince my wife to watch. We do a lot of watching shows together, so basically she's got to get an episode down and decide whether she cares, and then if she doesn't, then my pace will pick up considerably.
Yeah, that's my wife is watching. Yeah, my wife is watching this one with me, and she watched the first 2 episodes launch, and she's like, I don't know," and I'm like, "What do you mean you don't know? It's awesome!" And then
that's exactly what happened.
It's like
here.
the third episode comes out. I said, "Am I able to watch this one on my own or wait for you?" "Well, I want to watch another episode or 2 before I decide." It's like, "Oh, okay, so I got to wait for you." So yes.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Yeah, same reaction here. I was like, we watched the trailer, and I was like, first of all, it's Isaac Asimov stories. Okay, like enough said.
Yeah,
but then we watched the trailers, and she's like, I don't like what am I being shown? Nothing about that. This is confusing. It doesn't make sense. It looks like the plot is just, oh man, they really don't want that thing to happen. Oh man, that's so dumb. Like that was her literal reaction to the trailer to this. And I don't know. I was like, who are you? I don't know what. Were we watching different trailers? Like I don't understand.
Yeah, but it's super high concept sci-fi rather than pew action sci-fi.
Yeah,
you know,
it's so exactly what she would actually want to watch. Well, it's like I can't get her to watch The Expanse either. She watched like 1 episode and she was like, she couldn't keep the characters straight.
Yep.
You know, like the entirety of Game of Thrones, which she loved, and I was like, this is Game of Thrones in space. This is literally like it's all talking. Yep. There's when there's action, it's short-lived and potent, and it's all talking and complex plot and stuff like that. Is exactly what you want from a show. And she's just like, I don't know. That looks silly. Like, you're so. Anyway.
Wait.
So I don't know. I intend to watch it.
Was it really the entirety of Game of Thrones, or just like 90% of it?
It was what exactly?
Did she like
the end of it?
Oh. We liked it. I don't get what everybody's bitching about. I thought I pretty much thought that was what was going to happen, and I wasn't mad about any of it. Yeah, I think people are babies.
We'll talk about this later. Chig, you keep your mouth shut, buddy.
I intend to not talk about Game of Thrones later, just so I don't disappoint anybody. I thought it was fine, and I don't care.
You're entitled to your opinion. I'm just saying.
Yeah, people who got mad about that, I think, wanted to get mad. So whatever.
I bought. I didn't have Apple TV. Well, I didn't think I had it, and then it turns out that I had it at one point, I guess. But people kept telling me that to see Ted Lasso, you got to see Ted Lasso, and I'm like, I go, I'll have to get Apple TV for that. And then all of a sudden, I saw Foundation was coming out. I'm like, all right, I'm getting Apple TV because that's coming. So then I binged Ted Lasso. Fuck, that show's good. that show's super good. For All Mankind is so fucking good too. Have you watched that one yet?
You know what? That one I started to watch and was having a super hard time staying interested, and we didn't stick with it.
It's so good.
I thought it was dumb.
No.
Yeah.
No, it's
Everybody
super good. Yeah, it's super good. It's intense. So yeah, I watched that and Ted Lasso, and Ted Lasso is the shit.
Like
go watch that, people. And then now Foundation. So yeah, that's I've been doing that. But then also they put Seinfeld on Netflix. So yeah, that's been kind of occupying some of my time. Master of my own domain.
What's up with that?
Why would you watch that?
Seinfeld's the best show ever.
That is so.
I don't agree with you.
Oh my God, you people, go watch Seinfeld. After Ted Lasso. Watch Ted Lasso.
I don't need to see it again. I've seen it.
Oh my God! Now you sound like my wife. Why are you watching that again? You've already seen that. Why are you listening to that song again? You've already heard it. If you enjoy it, you enjoy it. Good God!
The song's 3 minutes. like
yeah. So you get to enjoy 3 minutes again. Kind of like sex with your wife. Whereas I get to enjoy a 2-hour movie or 100 hours of a TV show.
Okay. Hey, Chig. Hey, Chick, I'm going to diffuse this quickly with some cheese. Do you want to talk about cheese?
Oh my God, yeah. Randomly, my old boss. I worked for Hertz initially. The franchise owner, he'd owned it for like 50 years, and like my first 20 years in the industry, I worked for him. Good old Horace is his name. He's an old timer. He's 89 years old right now. He's retired, but he obviously knows me because he's been out of the business for 12 years now, 13 years. But he calls me just randomly out of the blue, and I'll be like, dude, I was at an auction. I got you a block of cheese. I'm like, awesome. So I hadn't heard from him in like 8 months. I didn't, I'm like, in the days of COVID, I'm like, God, I hope he's still alive or something. He called me randomly out of the blue today. And he's like, hey, I'm out here on 27th Avenue West. I know you live around here. I got some cheese for you. Want me to swing by? I'm like, fucking hey, dude. Yeah. So I went out and he brought me a big old block of Colby cheese. Super good. And I was eating it. And I actually thought about the show as I was eating because I was cutting the cheese and I'd cut a piece and eat it, then cut another piece and eat it. And I'm like, I wonder if people like eat cheese like I do, just one slice at a time, or if they cut up a whole bunch and then go sit down, maybe grab some crackers, so that's filler. But yeah, so I randomly got cheese that I always
filler.
I always refer to as Horace cheese because that's what it is. I get cheese from Horace randomly, a few times a year. So.
For the record,
I think the real story here is how do I get in on these cheese auctions and where do these things happen?
I know,
right? For the record, I cut one slice of cheese and eat it. If I'm the only one, and if there's other people, then you gotta cut it up.
Yeah, first. But I hate sharing my cheese, man. And normally I just cut the cheese whenever I feel like it, but if I'm eating cheese,
I did a fart joke.
I had to bring down the maturity level. Just come on.
Put him in the penalty box.
No, he just titled the show. All right. Anything else for this week, chaps? No.
I don't believe so.
All right.
That's it.
Thanks for joining me and catching up on the podcast with us. Sorry we weren't around last week. It was somebody else's fault.
Not mine.
We always just blame Chig for everything else. Why don't we just blame him for this?
Well, I don't know. Anyway, thanks everyone for listening / watching. If you like the show, please rate and review on your podcast app. And you can join us in Discord at discord.io/loosescrews. You should do that. It's very fun. And we have a merch store as well, which is at loosescrewsed.com. That's loosescrewsed.com. Where we have mugs and t-shirts and hoodies and stuff. It's real good. So thanks, everybody. Chig, Dubs, Data, Teflon. We made a show.
For the record, it's smooth-brained Dubs' fault.
Smooth brain.
Dubs' its fault. Smooth brain.
Smooth brain.
Smooth brain. Okay. Good night. Thanks for listening. Bye.
Bye.